Your time for a chat. My name's Fraser, and I'm here with former Sydney FC, current Perth Glory, and Socceroos player Brandon ONeill. Brandon, how are you?
Good, Fraser. How are you, mate?
Really good, thank you. Thank you very much again for giving up your time to talk to me tonight.
Yeah, no problem. Whenever I can help out, yeah, always will. So yeah, no dramas at all.
Perfect. How is it? What's it like being back in playing football in Australia again?
A decision had to be made to put myself, my family's, I guess, happiness and our lives first, and in order to be kind of the best athlete I can be, I know I need to be the best person I can be and enable, I guess, in for me to be doing that. It was just right that I had family and friends, and for what's been, I guess, a really ever changing landscape these past 6 months. So
Of course.
we're home, we're happy, and it's good.
That's great. I know I'm gonna miss seeing you in Sky Blue, obviously, but I'm just really glad to see you back in the A League and get to see you every week. So that'll be really, really enjoyable to see you again playing. So I'm excited for that.
That's good, mate. I'm glad I'm home. I'm sorry I'm not in a sky blue shirt, and I've obviously I've chatted to a lot of the sky blue family about it already, and the one thing I can just say is the overwhelming support I've had from everyone back in Sydney, from the club to the people of the club to the fans. It's been amazing, and I think they've totally understood why me and Nicole kind of are here and we are home, and it's actually guys and playing in front of you again, because it'll kind of feel like a little homecoming.
Yeah, of course.
That on a flip side, I won't be like um, one of them players that comes back and fans hate and stuff. Hopefully
Oh, of
we come
course. Yeah,
back and we
there'll
get to have a good
absolutely be
chat
none of
and
that.
a good laugh at everyone. Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, so just quickly about your background. I do believe I remember hearing you are born and brought up in Perth. Is that right?
I am, yeah. All my family's from Ireland. When I was a young lad, we moved back for a period of time, and me dad got another job, and been here ever since. So yeah, born and bred Aussie, but Irish roots through.
So I do have to ask about the Irish accent. Whereabouts did that come from?
So I think people say my accent's Irish. People say Lidlian one, sometimes a bit Aussie. It depends on, I guess, who I'm around. Obviously, I've got really close links with my family, and uh, my mum, my dad, my aunties, my uncles. You need subtitles for their accents. They're very, very strong Irish. So when I'm speaking with them, my stronger Irish comes out. And then obviously my wife's family, all from Yorkshire in England, from Sheffield. So they're really broad, and then obviously you grow up in Australia and you've got all Aussie mates, Aussie teammates. So I am definitely a mongrel, and my voice is definitely mongrel form. So hopefully people can understand me. Hopefully people get on board, and we're all good. But yeah, just it has been me for as long as I can remember, and yeah, that's the story behind it.
Wow, yeah. So how did you get into football when you were younger? Like, was there a specific, like, I don't know, motivation
Oh
to get into it, or?
yeah, a little bit. I have who I consider brothers here in Perth. That both me cousins, and we're 4 weeks apart, so all the same age. Um, my other he was born the end of April, and my cousin Mark was born the first week of June. So when we were growing up, obviously Irish English household, you want to be kicking the ball around. And when I was younger, we were about 8, and I wasn't able to play football at the time. I was still going through just some younger growing pains, so I had to watch the lads kick a ball around for a year and a half without me. And then when I was 10, finally got the chance to kick a ball around. And I think that year and a half, maybe 2 years, watching them did me the world of good. I felt it not only gave me the drive to do what I wanted to do, but I think it gave me a lot of perspective on things very quickly, and I just really enjoyed myself. And even today, I know when I'm playing my best football, I'm not thinking about anything. I'm just enjoying myself. So I think growing up like that and not being able to do something that you really want to do, and then being able to wait, and then be able to do it, I think it's led me in actually really good stead for what I'm doing currently.
Wow, that's great. So basically what I want to do is now I'm just going to dive into some, I know, kind of like my main focus on the mental health and kind of your views on it as well. So basically just when you think of mental health, what comes to mind?
I think straight away I look at it as kind of in a fuller picture, from someone's body language, their tone of voice, the dialogue, their energy, who they are as a person and how they normally interact. I tend to get a good feel of someone straight away, and immediately you can I don't know, I just find that someone's body language is off, or their thought process and how they talk, and even how they use their dialogue either negatively or positively, their energy levels, like all of these things kind of wrap into how someone can mentally operate, not even in a high performing environment, but just in an environment in itself. And from there, I tend to then go from, okay, if all of them aspects kind of added up to mental health, how do you give it longevity? And I think the best way to make sure your mental health is stable is to continuously communicate. I think communication is the biggest thing you can do to promote, train, um, make stronger, make sharper mental health. And I've been very, very lucky on a bit of the journey that I've had over the past couple of years, that I've had people that I was in constant communication with that would see my energy would dip, or my tone would change, or my actions weren't the same. And through the dialogue I'd have with them, and through the dialogue I'd have with them, was able to be where I am today, playing for my hometown club back home, with an opportunity to do something pretty cool. So, a lot of things add up to mental health, but I think in order to maintain it, train it, and make it stronger, I think communication's massive.
So from your personal experiences, do you feel like mental health, like seeing if someone has a poor mental health or they're struggling, do you feel from your experiences it's quite visible? So like on that, when you're looking out, it's quite like you can kind of notice it.
That's it's hard. I think for people that you see on a daily basis and you know their character, I think you know straight away. You do, but that can only happen again if you're in their company every single day. On the flip side, though, people have a very good shield and they can hide things. Um, where you try to strive as a human being, and the environment that you want to be in as a human being is embracing vulnerabilities and embracing imperfections. And I think the biggest key to being the best person you can be is to be involved in an environment where it's okay to stick your hand up and be as open and honest as you possibly can. And in terms of mental health, human beings together. And I know if I'm struggling and I have the ability in an environment where I stick my hand up and I reach out to people, and I know they can reach out back, and we can have a conversation and we can try come to a bit of a solution. Not only do you guys feel better, but I think the environment itself gets better and better. So yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one again for human nature, that we don't want to always show our true selves. We want to hide it. But I think if you have an environment around you where it's okay to be you and it's okay to be vulnerable, and you can embrace your imperfections, I think you're well on your way to helping.
Yeah, of course. Especially since you are in such a high pressure environment, I guess being a professional athlete and having that kind of spotlight always on you. How do you deal with the pressures of being like a professional athlete and having certain expectations that you have to meet?
Yeah, so I live kind of just by just a simple phrase of it again, boosts, and then being able to be the best athlete I can be. And in both of them, I guess, attributes that I want to give my life purpose with, I can only control the things that I can control. So I have markers that I set on a daily basis for my professional life, and in my personal life, again, I try to do the right thing. That I listen to on a daily basis. Ben Crow is unbelievable in the space. Hugh, from the Resilience Project, he has an amazing podcast, The Imperfects. These sorts of people that understand that, I guess, to be who you need to be and to find purpose in your life. It's what you do, I guess, as a job, that shouldn't define you. It's the person that you're trying to be. We're not human doings, we're human beings. And if we can live a fulfilled life, both whatever we do career wise, but more importantly, whatever we do with our family and whatever we do as a human, then I think either or, better person or better career, better athlete, it eventually gets better. So that's just how I try go about it. And I'm human. I make mistakes. I've got a lot of imperfections, and but I try my best to wake up in the morning, chase after what I want, and mistakes and failures along the way, I smile. I make sure I note them. I note that they're there, and then yeah, you pick yourself up and you go again.
Wow, that's incredible. You have a very positive mindset, which I'm sure a lot of people would admire. And I personally admire as well the fact that you have your goals and everything that you want to set. And then obviously if you don't, you kind of look back on them and then you keep note of them as well. So I feel like that's really positive. That's really a good mindset there.
Yeah, I think and each person will obviously have a different purpose in life. And again, mine's to be the best athlete I can be, and then be the best person I can be. And I think both of them come hand in hand. But I know there's days where I get both wrong. I get one right, I get one wrong. And especially probably the last couple of years in my journey to becoming home, like more often than in probably a harder way that I needed to deal with, and that stemmed to athletes. There's things that you try stick clear from, and you try not to go down. And I can stick my hand up, and over the last couple of years, I've had trouble with all of them things. Them, I guess, unprofessional things that a lot of us just become accustomed to as a human being. But I think what's very important is just recognize the patterns that you're going through, and make sure that you are human, but you have an opportunity to be better and to make a better choice and to live a more fulfilled life in what you want to do. And I'm thankful and lucky again to have the right people around me to talk about all this, and then put purpose to it, and I'm hoping that down at the Glory this year and for many seasons to come, that we build this environment where people can stick their hands up, be vulnerable, embrace their imperfections, and then have the ability to have a crack.
Of course. So the clubs you have been at, do all the clubs have like an assigned counsellor or maybe someone that's there for if the players or coaches do need a chat? So is there kind of that person there to talk to?
Yeah, so here in Australia we definitely do. I know at Sydney and at Perth we have a few people that we can turn to. We're very lucky in a sporting environment, and especially in the world we live in at the minute, where mental health is such an important thing, not only in sport but in the world, that you can speak to, I guess, these individuals, these psychologists, but you can also speak to your coaching department, your football department, your teammates, your physios, even fans. You can speak to all these sorts of people that through a bit, they're only there to help you. They're not there to make it worse. So here in Australia, we're very, very lucky to be able to work with psychologists. I know in professional sport here in Australia, there's a few high performance mindfulness people that work specifically with AFL clubs. I'm going to butcher her name, but she works with Richmond, Emma something. She's probably, I've listened to a few podcasts of hers, and she's right up there with high performing mindfulness and what that is. And yeah, I think we're extremely lucky to have them sort of people here in Australia. I think where what I experience in Asia is the culture and the way of life is very different over there. And communication, I think, so important to be able to deal with mental health, and you don't have the resources that you do here in Australia. And that was something that was straight away put into perspective when I came back here. And that was massive for myself, my family, when we came back. So we are very lucky here in Australia.
Yeah. So I'll swing more towards like male sporting. I feel like it's mainly in other sports. I feel like football's quite a good one that doesn't have it mainly. But do you feel like a lot of sports have this toxic masculinity kind of the ideal image that the athlete should fit? And I guess the question is, do you think that it plays a big factor in, I guess, players' mental health in trying to fit that certain persona they should be, whether that's in, I don't know, going out and drinking 10 beers with the boys after a game because it's the cool thing to do, or?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's definitely relevant in all sports. I think in Australia, not only in Australia, in the world. I think when you come into a team environment and you want to feel a part of something, sometimes you get into this false sense of security where you feel like you have to do things that you don't want to do just to fit in. In my mind, that's the definition of hell, being not doing or not wanting to do what you want to do just because you want to feel liked or you want to feel like you belong. I feel like in order to get to where you want to go as a person or as a team or as a company or as an individual, you need to be able to be you, and you need people around you that love the fact that you're being you, but you also need to let other people be them. And I think in Australia now, the high performing teams have that. I was very, very lucky to experience that at Sydney FC for 5 amazing years. That we knew the culture of the team was first and foremost, and the well-being of every single one of the players, coaching staff, backroom staff, board, family and friends. away from the pitch, if everything was taken care of on the pitch, we would feel a sense of coming together, and I think there's definitely that. There's definitely, I think, more so in the younger lads coming through, that sense of I need to do this because other people's doing that, rather than going, I need to do this because I want to do A, B, C, and D. And don't get me wrong, there's a time and place to going out, enjoying life. Don't get me wrong, but in order just to, again, train your mental health and train, I guess, purpose building environment, you kind of work backwards from your purpose in life, what you want to do and where you want to go. And from there, if going out and drinking and partying and stuff is in line with that, by all means, go have a crack, enjoy yourself. If your purpose is to be the best, I guess, landscaper or electrician, and you need to do this, this, and this, go be, and you want to work back from there, and that fits in with nutrition, diet, sleep, recovery, no problem going doing that. It's not a one size fits all approach, but whatever it is that you're doing, as long as it's in line with your purpose and it makes you feel fulfilled, and you're not waking up in the morning going, what am I doing with my life? Which a lot of us then tend to do when we're not kind of making the right decisions that are aligned with our purpose. Then that's all that's okay. So yeah, it's definitely prevalent, I guess, in sport. But like I said, the high performing environments, the high performing teams that I've seen over years that have sustained success, they're amazing in terms of what environment and culture they're able to build in their organization.
And then, so yeah, basically following up on that, I think, yeah, it was how the cultures differ from the Sydney culture, like you said, how well organized and how everyone was together kind of in the back room and in the coaches, the players and whatnot. How does that differ, as if there is any difference, from Sydney to Perth?
It's quite funny. I've only been at the club, I guess, being back home for now, down at the club for about 5 weeks, and I think the process in order to get to where we got to in Sydney overnight, there was a lot of foundational things and a lot of hints, tips, tricks, directional pulls that needed to happen, and it was them little things that ended up turning into 5 years of success, 6-7 years even, and it's quite funny to see what's happening down at the club that I'm involved with now, down at the Glory, that them little things have started to happen, and it's very enjoyable to see them little things happening, obviously because I've been a part of the process before, and not going into too much detail about the people and the ins and outs and this, that, and the other, but a lot of joy to be able to see that process beginning, because I've experienced that process before, and it was just a crazy and unbelievable experience. And if I was able to do that again with my hometown club, I'd retire a happy man. I'd retire a very happy man. Never in my wildest dreams did I think I'd ever achieve what I achieved at Sydney. And if you gave me half of that experience to bring back here to my hometown club, to be able to give that to them in front of family and friends, I'd bite your arm off. So to be able to get down every morning, to see people that are process driven, not outcome driven, to see the people that we're bringing in, to see the things going on in the background that they're trying to do, it's exciting. It's exciting.
Wow. So on another note, back to the kind of toxic masculinity profile in sport, and just in general, how do you feel, or why do you feel the reason why men struggle to open up and kind of are a lot more closed off than, I guess, than normal, like than they should be, so they kind of keep everything to themselves?
Um, yeah, it's a good question. I think where we kind of lack is the emotional intelligence to be vulnerable. Because I guess a man feels like he needs to either protect or he needs to know everything in order for his family to feel all right, and sometimes you can't. Sometimes you don't know anything. Sometimes you don't know everything. Sometimes you can't protect. Sometimes you don't know what you're doing. Sometimes you're going to make mistakes. And I think the more that people understand that it's okay, you know, for that to happen. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to fail. It's okay to feel like you're having a bad day. It's okay to feel like you're not going anywhere in your life. If you hold your hand up and say, this is what's happening, immediately the acceptance of that spirals you into a chain of events that goes, okay, I've accepted that I'm doing this and this wrong. Where's my learnings from it? And then once you start thinking about the learnings you're taking away from, say, the mistakes that you're making, that's part of growing. And I think that's part of the process that I'm continuously on as a person to try and better myself. And as long as you can recognize that you're going to make mistakes, you're going to fail, but you're going to learn from it and it's going to make you better, then it kind of enables you this freedom of like, it doesn't matter what happens because I'm better for it in the long run. And to be able to live like that, I think is the epitome of being in that flow state. And I think once you're in that flow state, the universe has an amazing way of commending what you're doing. So I think just because our gender, I guess, entails us to feel a certain way, shouldn't mean that we should, and shouldn't mean that to do this, and this because we're a man. I think we have to do this, and this again, coming back to what's your purpose, whether it's man, woman, dog, cat, giraffe, lion, it doesn't matter, if you've got a purpose in your life, I think it it either makes or it breaks, and it's huge.
So do you feel like that sort of stigma and that kind of image of men can't cry, men kind of have to keep everything bottled up? Do you think that stems from generations before that of kind of, I don't know, men were kind of looked at, which is completely wrong, and just like the working, like just work and everything like that. Do you think that's where it's kind of stemmed from, this kind of closed off feeling for men?
Definitely, I think not only generational, but I think, I guess, a man was a hunter gatherer. He went out and back in the olden day times, he got the food. He hunted. He brought it back for the tribe to feast on. And the woman then cooked it and um, needed to kind of do all the hands off work. And that's just our DNA makeup of a human being. And I think it gets to the stage now that we've made big strides in terms of that, I guess, reputation of a man versus a woman. And I'm so grateful to live in an environment now where I know myself. Everything we do is equal in terms of working, environment stuff, house stuff, and I think it's a hell of a lot more enjoyable that way because you get to experience everything together the way it should be. And but I definitely think, yeah, generational and kind of centuries ago, it's just inbuilt in our DNA that a man has to be strong. I think a man does have to be strong in certain points, and I think that DNA comes out in sport a lot, where that white line fever of the hungriness and the success driven mindset approach is relevant.
Yeah.
But if a big thing happens in your life, a loved one passes away, or there's every right to feel emotional, and there's every right to cry. There's every right to talk about it. There's, whether you're, again, man, woman, dog, cat, meerkat, shark, whatever, you have every right to feel the way you need to feel and the way you want to feel. And you have every right to talk about it. Yeah.
Of course. So if you could send a message or just a brief kind of, I don't know, perspective for someone who is struggling and kind of looking for inspiration, what would that inspiration or kind of quote be from you to kind of lift them up and say, hey, you can talk, you can feel comfortable?
Yeah, I think first and foremost to say to them, you're doing an amazing job as a human being, first and foremost. You're here. I'm sure they have clothes on them. I'm sure they have underwear. I'm sure they got a pair of shoes. I'm sure they're eating. I'm sure they're sleeping. They've got a roof over their heads, And just to tell them, look, you're doing a good job as a human being, first and foremost. And secondly, it's okay. It's completely fine and completely okay to be feeling the way you're feeling. But I just want you to know that whatever you're feeling now, whatever you think you are, it's okay to be who you are. Embrace what makes you you. Embrace all your vulnerabilities, all your imperfections, because that's what's going to bring you and the people that are around you together. And once you have the freedom and acceptance to be you, I'm pretty confident the world has a funny way of showing you what direction you need to go in. And then from there, have a crack. Keep chasing what you want to chase. Keep fulfilling and finding that purpose of what you want to do in your life. And from there, do it with the utmost effort, the utmost hard work, and the utmost sense of proudness. Because again, it's okay to be feeling the way you're feeling. You're doing a great job as a human being, but whoever you are and whatever you want to do, just be you and have a crack.
That's amazing. I'm sure, or I'm hoping a lot of people do end up seeing this if I can share it around as much as I can. But I'm sure a lot of people, especially younger people, will see that, especially coming from you, and really take that on board and really kind of run with that. So thank you very much for that. And just everything you've answered, really, it's been fantastic to talk to you as well. So thank you very much.
Hey, you're more than welcome. Like I said to you off camera, like I'm just a normal fella that's very lucky to be able to kick a ball around the field for what I do. And I've been through a hell of a journey in the last couple of years, and it just gives you perspective on again what's important in life. And if you wake up each morning happy, no matter what you're doing, whether you're washing the dishes, you're having a bit of toast, watching telly, if you feel fulfilled, there's no better feeling than just being you. And I think a lot of people need to be themselves and need to feel okay to be feeling themselves. And
Yeah,
if they can do that, and then they can go and have a crack at this crazy thing we call life, they're better off. They're always better off.
of course. And thank you very much for everything like you've answered again. I really do appreciate it. I'm hoping a lot of people do see this, because I know I'll take motivation from this, from what you've said, and we'll take everything you've said on board as well. I do have a very important question though. Will we ever see you in Sky Blue again?
Yeah. Who stitched you up asking that? Is that coming from you, Fraser?
Thought I had to ask. I had to ask
it. Look, in this crazy football world, you never say never. You never close it off. And although when I did end up chasing another thing I wanted to chase abroad, and I said I'd probably only ever come back to Sydney, little did I know what was going to happen in the few years I was away. Little did I know I was going to lose my best mate. Little did I know my wife was going to become pregnant. Like, my life got turned upside down, and that again put things into perspective to me, that you just never know in this world what's going to go on. I feel like I'm a very lucky man that I've got such good relationship with the people of Sydney, the Sydney FC as a football club, and everyone involved in that organisation. And again, you never say never. I know if I wasn't playing football here in Perth back home, I'd only be playing football in in Sky Blue. So you never say never, but for my immediate future, I'm home. We're working through things as a family here. I'm getting ready to become a father. I'm seeing my mum every day, and ultimately as well, I'm in a process now where I'm hopefully in the years to come, I'm able to tick off that little bucket list thing of experiencing success with my hometown club. Something that always saddened me that I had to go elsewhere to do that. And don't get me wrong, I'd do it all again in a heartbeat coming back to Sydney, but the only thing that was missing was doing it in a place where I grew up, And
Of course, yeah, of course.
if I'm able again to experience half of what I experienced in Sydney, here in my hometown club again, I'd retire a very happy man.
So what? A couple more. Well, I'll try to keep this the last question so I can let you go. What was it like taking a penalty in two grand finals? So having a penalty in that kind of pressure situation. I guess this kind of does come back to the mental health point, but how did you manage to calm yourself and take two brilliant penalties?
Yeah, I think that just comes back to, again, you just being a normal person. When I was stood there, I knew I was taking one, and that walk from your teammates up to the penalty spot, all I was thinking about was how my mum, dad, and my wife was feeling, and walking up, that's all I thought about. And it was amazing because I was walking up to take a grand final penalty. If I miss, there's repercussions. If I score, there's repercussions, and there's a lot of pressure on that. But I think that just comes back to how I was raised. I'm very lucky to be raised by two amazing people. I'm very lucky to have an amazing wife in my corner. I'm very lucky to have family and friends that ground me every single day, And walking up there, I practiced the penalty. I knew exactly what I was doing, so I was able to put myself in a frame of mind that I knew my dad would be somewhere by himself watching it. I knew my mum would be in flood of tears. I know Nicole would be squeezing her hand, about to either jump for joy or jump over the stadium, over the stadium seats if I missed one. So the pressure kind of released off me, and I put it on them because I was more thinking of them rather than myself. And when you put the ball down and you take it, and thank God I scored, the relief kind of comes off them and back onto you, and then you're able to share that experience with them. And obviously giving them 3 kisses after each penalty was just the way I was able to express we were all in that together. It wasn't just me taking the penalty. It was all of us, And again, that just comes back down to how I was raised and the ground that I had. That if I'm out there, we're all out there kicking a ball. And special mention to the Perth grand final, because that's something I'm hoping I experience again here in Perth. But if I don't, then I'm happy as well, because I already got to experience a once in a lifetime thing.
So what was it like beating your hometown team and like your boyhood team in the grand final? I guess it must have been a bit bittersweet for you.
Oh, it was great. What are you on about, Fraser? It was absolutely brilliant. It was. I was a Sydney FC player, I was playing for a team that it took me where I was a boy and turned me into a man, turned me into a fella that's represented this country and a fella that's won grand finals, and I wouldn't be able to be doing this with my hometown club without them now. Being in a position where I can help, I can lend a bit of experience because I've experienced a lot in Australian football, and to be in a position of helping is amazing, and amazing. And Sydney FC gave me all this. So to be at home, whether I was playing Perth, whether I was playing Melbourne, whoever, it was irrelevant because I was home. I was playing in a grand final in front of every single person that got me to where I was, got me to where I needed to be in a professional environment in the A-League. And then I was able to do it with the club that gave me the opportunity to play in it. So the way I just looked at it, I said, I'm going out here and this is a once in a lifetime opportunity to do this. I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. And like I said, it didn't matter who it was against. It would have felt as sweet as what it did that night.
Of course, because I do remember seeing the team. Well, obviously watched the game here. I couldn't go to Perth, but I remember coming back, seeing all the team at the start, and then I do remember walking around talking to you. And I don't think you will remember, but so me and my dad went past. We walked around, and we called you. Me and my dad have a saying. We call you Bex. And I don't know if you remember that or not.
I do remember that at the start. We were at the end of the red carpet. Were you there with your dad?
Yeah.
Yeah, at the end of the red carpet. I remember that because you said Bex. Was it because of the boots?
Oh, I think we said the boots, and Dad said when he used to watch Beckham, it was the way you used to hit the ball with your free kicks and everything like that.
How I struck me. Well, would you believe I'm actually at the minute I've been battling the last couple of years with a bit of Achilles tendonitis, and I never knew that the boots that I was wearing were just so flat that they were causing a lot of pressure to be put on my heel. And I've been in actually some Asics boots that I've been trialing, and they've been very good. So I don't know if the Glory is going to get a run or not this year. I'm going to see how they go in pre-season, chop and change, and then I'll make the decision in the season. But yeah, bless, they were some good times.
I still can't believe you played that well in a pair of boots that give you tendonitis. That's unreal.
I know. I didn't know. I honestly didn't know. But there you go. Yeah.
That's unreal. Well, I'll let you go because obviously I don't want to hold you up too much unless you have any questions for me. But just thank you very much for taking time out of your day to talk to me. I know you didn't have to, but I really do appreciate it. And yeah, it really does mean a lot getting to chat to you. So thank you very much.
No, mate. Look, like I said, any time, and yeah, I'm always here to have a chat, have a yard, and whatever I can do to help. And anyone obviously back in Sydney, and we've still got fond memories of each other, you know, and I hope for many years to come, post and me and Jules are back in Sydney, we can catch up with anyone and everyone from the club and still have a really good relationship post football. So no problem at all, Fraser. Good to chat.
Perfect. Thank you very much. And I'm hoping I get to see you after a game or two when we're actually allowed back, because obviously we're in lockdown here. But I hope I get to have a chat with you again after a game or whenever it is. But yeah, thank you very much.
Sounds good. Looking forward to it.